Welcome back to Bill Bell. In this video, we'll talk about a world teeming with demons, and those who fight against them. Kimetsu no Yaiba, an anime that took the world by storm in 2019 with its spectacular art style and impressive storyline, left a deep impression on fans and audiences alike. But do you know everything about it yet? Where did demons come from? Who founded the Demon Slayer Corps? Does the Japanese government know anything about the existence of demons? To answer your questions, we need to go back more than 1,000 years. To the Heian period in the 900s AD, the golden age of Japan. Also here, the source of all problems originated from a young man named Muzan, from the Kibutsuji noble lineage, a branch of the Fujiwara clan. One of the three most powerful clans in the Heian period, born into power and wealth. But Muzan was unfortunate from a young age to encounter a terrible, fatal disease. Spare no expense, Muzan's family invited one of the students of Abe no Seimei, the greatest onmyoji in Japan, to treat him, named Abe no Dokuda. Dokuda treated Muzan with a medicine made from the extremely rare blue spider lily. During one of the medication preparations, the doctor shared about Muzan's illness, something his family had always hidden. He said that it was a curse, and Muzan would not be able to live past the age of 20, before he could finish. Muzan took the medicine knife and stabbed Dokuda to death. Thinking that everything was over, Muzan realized that the doctor had succeeded. The medicine he used had been effective. Muzan's body grew stronger, and his senses became sharper. But everything has its price. Muzan began to fear the sunlight, and crave fresh blood. He rummaged through the doctor's research, and searched for the blue spider lily. But even if he could find anything, the only person who could help him, the doctor, had already been killed by him. So, Muzan created creatures just like himself, hoping they would reproduce, and one day, one of them could withstand the sunlight. About a century later, the Genpei War broke out between the Fujiwara Taira and Minamoto clans. Muzan's host family, the Fujiwara, had no ambition to conquer the realm, so they stayed out of the war. However, Muzan realized that the war was an opportunity for him. He created countless demonic monsters, and became even more brazen, moving on to prey on the nobility. After the Minamoto clan won, and established the Kamakura shogunate, Muzan's relatives began to notice he wasn't aging, and the rising number of disappearances drew the shogunate's forces into the matter. Muzan abandoned his home, and continued his search for the blue spider lily. During this time, the demons that Muzan created wreaked havoc everywhere. The imperial court and the shogunate gathered on myoji and military forces to carry up campaigns to hunt down the demons. This event became known as the Great Purge. To prevent similar things from happening later, Muzan created a management system for his demons with different ranks, called the Lower Moons. 200 years after the Great Purge, humanity was no longer unfamiliar with the existence of demons. Initially, demon-slaying forces were mainly onmyoji and imperial troops, but the number of onmyoji dwindled sharply. The feudal lords were only concerned with power struggles, so the demons began to terrorize the people once again. From then on, demon slayers began to appear, mostly bounty hunters hired by lords or simply wandering swordsmen wanting to test their skills against demons for the sake of the people. Among these swordsmen, the most prominent were the brothers Yoriichi Sukikuni, who created sun breathing, and Michikatsu, who created moon breathing. The Sengoku period, the bloodiest era in Japan, was also the era when Muzan was at his most powerful. Taking advantage of the war between the clans, Muzan increased his power by absorbing more humans and creating more demons. Around this time, an emerging family called the Yubayashiki, a branch of the Fujiwara clan, and direct descendants of Muzan, gathered demon hunters across Japan to establish an anti-demon organization known as the Demon Slayer Corps. Among the 12 strongest swordsmen in the organization, Yoriichi was the only one who ever managed to kill Muzan, leaving him haunted for the rest of his life. However, there was Yoriichi's brother, Michikatsu. Because he was so jealous of his brother's strength, he accepted becoming a demon to gain even more terrifying power. So jealous of his brother's strength, he accepted becoming a demon to gain even more terrifying power. Also at this time, to counter the demon hunters, Muzan created a new ranking system called the Upper Moons for the demons, who received his blood, giving them the ability to face the demon slayers. Although the imperial court was well aware of the existence of both demons and the Demon Slayer court, they decided to cover it up to avoid public panic, and secretly supported the Demon Slayer court. Basically, the funds that the Yubayashiki family used to maintain the organization's activities were supported by the imperial court. The rest came from the family's business ventures. By the Meiji era, 300 years after the Demon Slayer Corps was founded, and the Tokugawa shogunate collapsed. With the imperial court ruling Japan, the country grew increasingly developed and entered a period of transformation into an empire. The demons no longer dared to expand as they once did. Police and military personnel with firearms everywhere forced the demons to hide and operate more discreetly. At this time, Mosen also realized that if he did not find the blue spider lily, everything he had worked so hard to build would soon come to an end. And now we return to the main storyline of the film. As in the current anime, we are in the Taisho era of the early 20th century. Japan at this time was developing strongly, becoming the Dragon of Asia. Because of this, gradually no one believed in demons or monsters anymore. Muzan continued to turn more people into demons. While passing through Tanjiro's village one day, he indirectly killed his entire family and turned his younger sister Nezuko into a demon. Half a year later, Tanjiro officially joins the Demon Slayer Corps, as seen in the movie, alongside his two companions, Zenitsu and the Great Inosuke. From this point on, we will start spoiling events that haven't appeared in the anime yet. If you only wanted a brief overview of the timeline in Demon Slayer to better enjoy the anime, I advise you to stop here. But of course, if you still want to hear more, then let's continue. Nezuko is a very special demon. She doesn't drink human blood, but instead sleeps to recover her strength. After many fierce battles, Nezuko begins to reveal terrifying abilities, among which is immunity to sunlight. Learning this news, Muzan is so overjoyed that he loses all his composure. He summons the upper ranks, and initiates an all-out war against the Corps to seize Nezuko's power. The Demon Slayer organization is no longer in its prime at this point. The number of members has dropped only a few hundred, compounded by the death of the Flame Hashira, one of the two strongest pillars of the Corps, before the war even began. Nevertheless, they still strive to defeat Muzan, with the organization's leader Kaguya fusilate. The war turns out to be brutal, costing countless lives of the Corps members, but the demons suffer just as many casualties. However, since the anime has only just begun its second season, I won't spoil too much about who dies, who lives, and who turns into a demon. I truly hope this video helps you better understand the events in Demon Slayer and enjoy the anime more. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next videos. See you.